The gentleman from Tennessee, Mr. Rowe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Too often as Americans, we tend to take our freedom for granted. But we should never forget that we owe our freedom to our nation's veterans. That's why it's so egregious that many veterans come home to find that they have to do battle with the VA, the very agency that's supposed to help and support them to protect their own constitutional rights. The problem occurs when VA, for whatever reason, determines that a veteran needs assistance managing his or her VA financial benefits and decides to appoint a fiduciary. Now, there are many reasons why that a veteran might need a fiduciary, such as a veteran who may have had a TBI injury and has difficulty with math and struggles to balance his or her checkbook. Unfortunately, there are serious unintended consequences when VA appoints a fiduciary. This is because once VA decides that the beneficiary needs help with finances, even though there may be no evidence that the individual may be a danger to himself or others, the department sends the veteran's name to the FBI added to the nexus list. I want to be clear. Any individual who a court rules is a threat to themselves or others should not be permitted to possess a firearm. However, there is no evidence that those who need a fiduciary are a danger to society. It's important to remember that a VA bureaucrat makes this decision, not a judge. Unfortunately, VA's decision has serious consequences for veterans, including losing his or her Second Amendment rights. This means that the veteran can't go hunting, can't shoot at a target range, or even keep a firearm that's been in the family for generations. I'm also concerned because some recreational therapy programs, like the one at the VA Grand Junction Medical Center in Colorado, have found that hunting trips can be therapeutic for veterans with physical and psychological disabilities. Right now, there are probably veterans who could be helped by these programs but can't participate just because a VA bureaucrat appointed a fiduciary for them. Moreover, I'm troubled that I've heard from veterans that they do not seek care or benefits from VA because they fear that if they do, they will lose their Second Amendment rights. Just this week, I worked with one of our colleagues to assist a constituent who was so worried about the impact of VA's proposed fiduciary finding that he stated he would rather give up his VA benefits than lose his firearms. Barring law-abiding veterans from owning a weapon will not make our communities safer. If anything, it will discourage the veterans who protected our country from receiving the benefits that they've earned. I have a bill, H.R. 3826, which would prohibit VA from sending veterans' names to the nexus list unless there is an order from a judge or magistrate that says the person may harm themselves or others. In 2017, this bill passed the House with bipartisan support. I know we don't always see eye to eye, but we should all agree that veterans who are willing to lay down their lives to protect freedom shouldn't have their own freedoms taken away without appropriate due process. I urge members to support and co-sponsor my bill, 3826, and hope you will recommend to the VA Committee Chair, Tucano, that he advance the bill. I would also like to take the opportunity to renew my concerns with House-passed language in H.R. 1112. If H.R. 1112 were enacted, it could expand the list of individuals who cannot possess a firearm to include 1.7 million veterans with an adjudication of service connection for a mental health condition. I hope we can all agree that a VA bureaucrat granting a compensation claim for PTSD or depression in no way equates to a judicial ruling that a veteran is a danger to society. I raised these concerns in February of 1112, and when H.R. 1112 was being debated on the House floor. I'm also grateful to the Veterans of Foreign War of the United States brought this issue to Judiciary Chairman Nadler's attention. As a result, he committed to ensuring that as H.R. 1112 proceeds, it would not negatively impact disabled veterans. Today, I would like to ask Chairman Nadler to reaffirm the commitment he made on the House floor and request that he provide me with an update on his progress addressing this matter. And as the chairman of the committee, I've traveled across this country talking to veterans, and one of the concerns, Madam Chair, that I have is that veterans from Long Island to Los Angeles have told me this. They're concerned that if they have mental health treatment at the VA, that their weapons will be taken away. I would encourage this committee to take this up, and I yield back my time, and thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you very much for your testimony.